Hi everyone, we have 2 weeks until Christmas. Happy holidays. We are going to focus on open syllables in this lesson. I'm going to stand aside and I just want you to look at the words and see if you can see any open syllables. See if you can understand what they are. We have some that's already open syllables, but can you really identify them? Do you know how to identify them is the question. We can have some syllables and then we add on suffixes and it changes the word and makes it something else. And then we have different syllables when that happens. So let's look at the word trade. Trade is a silent E syllable. So you have this E that's going to jump over and make that A long. So it's going to say A. So we have A-D, trade. Now, I want to show you how you can see your open syllable. Now, remember what an open syllable is. So if we said the word tray, pretend this is in the middle of a word, because tray truly is how this, but let's say you're in the middle of a word and we want it to say tray. You're going to do it with an open syllable. Now remember, A's are tricky. Open syllables with A's can turn to schwa, which is the sound. But we're really focusing on the A sound. So this says tray, and so this is going to be long, and it's because it's open and it's accented. So if we say trade and we want trading, now we have two different syllables there. Do you see that? So we have, so you can hear it switch. Tray-deen, tray-deen. It's going to split here and see how this A, instead of it being a silent E syllable, this A is open. And so see how right here in this one, it is that the E is making the A long. But in this one, what's forcing the A to be long is the open A syllable, and this is the accented syllable. So we're going to go over that once you add on so you can identify. It's so important that you're identifying this syllable because it's going to teach you how to say the vowel sound. And A's are tricky anyways. Okay, so and especially in something like this, in a two-syllable word, you're going from a one-syllable word to a two-syllable word, most likely this A is still going to be accented. Let's say save right here. Now we want to say saving. So we go say, the, and then you're going to drop the E and you're going to add your ing, right? Now, where does it break? You hear it, say-veen. It breaks naturally, say, and it's going to break here, and this is an open syllable, and this is your unit syllable. So once you start adding on and learning how to add on your suffixes, this is what's going to happen when you add on vowel suffixes, because vowel suffixes grab the next consonant and pull it with them. And that's what it's doing here. This V is staying with this vowel suffix and it's moving it over. And so it's forcing that A to be long. It's the accented syllable, so it's saying the long A sound. S-A-V-A. Savable. Okay, so it's the same here. Do you see your vowels right here? And then B-L-E is his very own syllable. So we know it's just going to break here. Look, this is open, this is open. Open A, open A. So this, typically when you're adding on suffixes from your base word, if it's a really small word, oftentimes that base word sound will remain A, but not always. So this is saying, this is its open sound. It's saying A because it's open. Say, va. Now this is turning to schwa. But almost always A-B-L-E, able, turns to schwa when it is the suffix. So savable. Raceable. Now, let's do raceable. R-A-C-E-A-B-L-E. Now, this is where you're going to find something really tricky. We can't do this.
Because that would say rackable.
It would say rakeable.
Oh.
This says rakeable because it's still open, and it would be here. But what is causing, once you have an A here, you have to be really careful with C's and G's, because C's and G's change the sound of their letter when it is followed by an E, I, or a Y. So this, because it's followed by an E, this is saying S, so it's saying race. And see, when you drop the E and add your vowel suffix here, because it's a vowel suffix that starts with an A, it's saying rake, rakeable. And so it's wrong. So be very, very careful on how you do that. So when you look at this, raceable, is this an open syllable? Is this going to turn into an open syllable? It's not. It's going to be silent E. That's going to be in the unaccented syllable, so it's going to turn to the schwa sound. It's going to say race-able. So that's not going to happen in that word. But if we did racine, drop the E, and add on your vowel suffix, then in this word, it's going to break. This ends up being an open syllable that is forcing the A to say its long sound, and this is your unit syllable. So that's how you find that when you're reading different words. How about racer? So we're going to drop the E and add your vowel suffix, ER. I like to teach it that way. Some people might just say, well, you just put the R on. Okay. Now, it breaks here. See, look, we have our vowels. This C, almost always, once we put on this vowel suffix, it's going to say, I like you so much you have to come with me. And it breaks right down the middle. That stays long. It's the accented syllable. And it's going to say ray. It's open. This is an open syllable, and this is a vowel R syllable. So that might help you with your reading. So you can identify open syllables, especially once you've put on your suffixes. It's going to change things, and you can be able to read it quicker and easier. Here we have a multi-syllable word. We're going to find our vowels. And look, remember in our last lesson we talked about this R, grabbing that consonant, and it's going to suck it over and say, I like you so much, you have to be with me. Most of the time, when it's two consonants in the middle, it's going to break right down the middle. But with this one, it doesn't, because it's an R. And most of the time, it pulls it over when it's an R. R's and L's.
Okay.
Yeah, R's and L's are the ones that suck this over and typically like to remain together. So that's sucking it over, so we're going to break it right here. And this is an open syllable. So it's going to say A, because it's the accented syllable, and prun, this O turns to schwa because it's closed and it's not accented. A's and O's are tricky. Apron, apron. So now we have basis. Now let's find our vowels. How many are in the middle? 1. So we're going to pull it to the end. Most of the time, I would say in the 80%, this consonant pulls to the end. It's going to open, and you're going to have an open syllable in a multi-syllable word. That's going to help you be able to read quicker when you can identify it right away. This is an open syllable, closed syllable. Open, closed. Long A sound right there, basis. Okay? Now this is saying it's short sound because it's closed. Remember, closed syllable has a consonant closing in the vowel, and there's only one vowel in a closed syllable. Okay, now we have our vowels right here, and the one in the middle, and so we're going to pull it to the end. and it's going to say raven. This turns to schwa because it's a closed O. Raven. Raven. So see how you're identifying that open syllable. So once you can identify the open syllable, then this sound, you're going to know, or at least have a pretty good idea what that sound is going to say. It's either going to say A or When it's an A, it's going to say A or depending on if this syllable is the main syllable of the word. Okay, so it's going to say raven. So now let's look over here at over. So we're going to find our vowels. This happens with every single one of your vowels. You have one in the middle. This is a multi-syllable word. So we're going to break it. See, look, one in the middle, it's going to come with this vowel. It's going to come over. And so this is forcing that to be open. Say O. Look, it's an O. There's nothing here that's blocking it off. Say O. So it's saying O and then ver. This is an open syllable and this is a vowel R syllable. Over. Same here. Look, two vowels, one in the middle. It pulls to the end. So this is an open syllable and this is an open syllable. So what sounds are these going to make, Paul?
So, low.
Yeah, so these O's are going to say O because they're open. And O's always say O when they're open. So it says so low, so low. Now here is a silent E syllable, and it says close. It's going to jump over, and it's making that O long because of this E. But let's say we close and put a suffix onto it. Now we have two syllables. This suffix has now snagged that middle consonant and it's pulled it over. Now it's forcing this to be long. This open O. It's no longer a silent E syllable because this is an open syllable that's forcing the O long, and this is a unit syllable. Now look, hope. Now in this one, this is a silent E syllable. It is using this E and forcing this O to be long. So it's saying ope, ope. Let's see if you take off that E, what does it say? Hop. Now it's saying op, hop. But you put the E on and it says ope, hope. But now let's make this an open syllable by adding a suffix onto it. And a vowel suffix. So there's your vowels. One consonant in the middle is going to pull it this way, almost always. Well, probably in the 80 percentile in area. So this is forcing this H to be, this is forcing this O to be long. This is an open syllable. So this says ho, O, O. And this says ping, hoping. This is a unit syllable and an open syllable. This is a silent E syllable. It's jumping over that consonant and making this long. It's saying v-o-t, vote. Now we're going to put on a suffix, a vowel suffix, and we're going to spell voted. Drop the E and add your vowel suffix. Look, two vowels in the middle. So where does this go? To the end, to the end, to the end. If it doesn't work going to the end, then try it the other way. But most of the time with the suffix, it's going to snag it over and it's going to go to the end. So we have our vowels, goes to the end, so it breaks right here. Now look, this O is an open syllable. This VO is an open syllable, and it's saying V-O, V-O. Why is that open? Why is that open that you can see? It's because nothing here is at the end. There's nothing closing it on. There's nothing there. The T is in this whole other syllable. So, because that is open, it's forcing that O to be long. It's saying vo, v-o, vo, and then ted, t-ed, ted, voted. Here is a multi-syllable word. So we have our vowels right here. There's one consonant in the middle and it's going to go, we're gonna always take it to the end. If you're really learning how to break syllables apart in the English language, then this is how you do it. Start this way first. One in the middle, it goes to the end. So that forces this to be an open syllable. And it's saying O. And then this EY says A on this word. Most of the time, AY says A at the end of a word. But this is a open syllable and this is a vowel team syllable. Open vowel team. So because this is open, it's going to force that O to say the long O sound, because open O's always say O. Closed O's, on the other hand, is something different. And we already did a video on that. Let's look at the long U sound and let's find our open syllables in the long U sound. This is a silent E syllable. And this E is forcing that U to be long, and it's saying use. Remember, SE oftentimes says Z at the end of a word. Fuse, fuse. Now, let's add on a vowel suffix. Fusing. Now we have that in the middle. We have our vowels, and it's going to break here. Now we have an open syllable that's forcing the U long. Here, the silent E forced that to be long. Here, the open syllable is forcing it to be long. But if we say fusible, fusible right here, is this, what are we gonna do? We're gonna pull this to the end. See how this, we still drop the E because this is not a C. Fusible. Now this turns to Schwa, and see what's forcing this U to be long. The open syllable is forcing it to be long. Prune. This is a silent E syllable. This E is forcing that U to say the long U sound. U-N. Prune. U-N. Prune. Now, if we add on a suffix, we're adding on a vowel suffix. Now, it's going to break down the middle. See, we have one consonant, and it's going to go with the suffix that you just added on, almost always. Now what's causing the U to be long? It is the open syllable. Here it was the silent E syllable. Here it is the open syllable. So this is the open syllable and a unit syllable. So when you are looking at multi-syllable words, that's going to help you be able to decode your words quicker. This is a silent E. This E is forcing that U to be long. So it's saying T, U, N, tune, tune. Now, if we add on a vowel suffix, now it's forcing this U to be long. This is tuning. It's going to break right here because this N goes with the unit syllable. And what's forcing the U to be long here is the open syllable. This is an open syllable. This is a silent E syllable. So just know that things change like that. Use. Let's do usable. We're going to drop the E and add on our vowel suffix. So look, we have one in the middle. It's going to pull to the end. This is going to say its long U sound because it's open. This is a silent E. Silent E, open. See the difference? Silent E syllable, open syllable. You are going to find this in so many multi-syllable words. So you're going to have to be able to identify what is that syllable. If that's an open syllable, it's going to force the long U sound or the long vowel sound, whichever it is. See, like here, we have two vowels, one in the middle, and we're going to break it right here. And this says hue. This is open, so it's saying hue, you, human. This turns to schwa because it's a closed A and it's not accented. This is the accented syllable. Find our vowels. One in the middle. We're going to break it. We're going to pull it to the end. This is an open syllable. It's open, so it's forcing the U to be long. So we're going to say you, you, mew, and then this is a closed syllable, so it's going to say sick, sick, music, music. You know, a fun trick. When you hear ick at the end of a multi-syllable word, this is how you spell it. Ick, I-C. But if you hear ick at the end of a one-syllable word, this is how you would spell. You would spell it with an I-C-K. One syllable, multi-syllable. Kind of a fun trick there. So this says sick and this says sick. Music. Okay, look, we have vowels here, multi-syllable word, one in the middle. It's going to break here because it's going to pull to the end. And this is going to be long, and it's going to say you. This is long because it is an open syllable. You, pew, and then ni. Pew, e. These are both open syllables. Now, Y's act as vowels sometimes. Y's at the end are vowels, and they say E or I. Most of the time in multi-syllable words, they say E. And so this says E, pew, you, pew, and then e, ni, puny. So that's kind of how you would break that. We have our vowels, one in the middle, and so it breaks. This is long because it's open. So it's saying you, few, and chur. Future. Now remember, T-U-R-E, I just want you to remember that. That is chur. Future. You. Few. Future. Future. So when you slow it down, you can hear EU. When you go quick, future. Now, look, our vowels right here. One in the middle, so it breaks. It's going to pull it to the end. Since this is open, it's going to say the long U sound. See, there's nothing at the end of it because this end comes to this syllable. So it's going to be open. It's going to say the long sound. So this is going to say U or EU, whatever, depends on what's here. So you, and then this is a closed syllable. It's going to say it, knit, you, knit, unit. Our family is a fun family unit. We belong together. Now, I just put some small little words on here that when you have an E sound and it's open, it says E. Most words at the end of words, if it's an E, will be silent. Unless it's a double E, which that's not a word right here. But we could say C is a double E. That would be that. But most of the time, E's at the end by themselves go to silent E syllables and they're doing something. But we do have a few words that they just say E all by its little lonesome. Sh, E, she. See, it's open, nothing's closing it in at the end. These very few words are like this, where you have one E. This one E is in a few words that we use all of the time in the English language. So here's one, e, me, e, we. See, it's open, so it's going to say the long E sound. So be careful, if you have an E at the end in a silent E syllable, it is not going to say anything. It's silent. The E is silent, but not here. So now look, we have open E's. Now, if you have an open E in the middle of a word, and it says like this, says demon. This says demon. So this, see how this is open and it's saying E. If you're trying to spell something, and you can actually decode, and you can hear D-mun, D-mun, and you're saying E, most likely it's going to be spelled with the open E syllable in a multi-syllable word. Not always, but most likely. Same with this. Let's find our vowels. And there's one in the middle. Thank you. There's one in the middle right here. The QU, remember with a Q and a U, the U is not considered a vowel. It's a partner with the Q. So there's only one in the middle here. That's what it's considered. And this is going to say its long E sound. E, qu, A. This is, see, this is another open syllable, and this is the accented syllable. The A is saying A, E, que, and then ter. This is a vowel R syllable. E, que, ter. Equator, equator. Now remember, OR at the end of words say and not or. Now look at this. We have one in the middle. And see how this, so this you have to be careful because maybe you might want to say, oh, well, there's vowels here. But this is a silent E syllable over here. It's going to jump over and make that A long here. So this is an open syllable and it's saying fee, E, E, fee, and then this A is saying A because of this E right here, it's silent E. Female, female, all right? Right here, oops, it's supposed to do that with the vowels. Right here we have our vowels, one R in the middle. I'm gonna pull it to the end, and we have two open syllables here. Look, the E is saying E because it's open. When it's open, it says it's long sound. Unless it's an A, and then it has to be accented. So this is saying he, and this is saying row. E, he, and this is saying row. O, row. Now, this is fun. So we have two in the middle here. But most of the time, we break it down the middle, unless, look, it has an R right here. And this R says, I like you so much that I'm gonna stay with you forever. And so it's going to stay right here. And so we are actually breaking it like this. And so this is an open syllable, and this is a closed syllable. Remember, closed syllables force their vowels to be short. Open syllables force their vowels to be long. This says s, E, C, and then k, et, cret, secret, secret. Now remember, A, E, I, O, U. These are the sounds, the long sounds, and the names of the letters that you are in. I only did one word with the I, just because we did so many the other way. So now we're gonna find our vowel, and this is the I, okay. And one in the middle, I'm gonna pull it, and this is going to force this I to be long. Now I's can be a little bit tricky because in the middle of a word, it will say most of the time, but at the beginning of words, it will say I. So this says s, I, s, I, s, I, because it's open. It's open. So it's saying it's long sound, and this is short. Lent, silent, I, sigh, lent. Open syllable, closed syllable. All right, you guys, have a fantastic holiday, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.